Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
On today's installment of Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone, we will debate aging gracefully with chapter the first, waking up injured. Why is my left ankle sore? Who did I kick in the middle of the night? Where is this going to go to? We'll find out later this morning when we sit down with an orthopedic expert. No, I'm just kidding, but I got a sore ankle, so then I got like the old limp, walking with a little bit of a limp, and I don't know what happened to the left ankle, but it's weird. Like I want to like just do that move where you like rotate your foot kind of like this, but I'm afraid if I do that, it's just going to go like I'm just going to break my own foot. And then sweet young Ryan Broderson's going to have to just be my Sherpa and take me to the doctor on a sled pulled by sled dogs. That's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Waking up injured. Oh, that could be the name of a book. For real, though, right? Waking up injured. Do you like what I've done there? Do you think that that's a good idea? I've had worse ideas, quite frankly. Okay, so I'm sitting here with a bag because it's another one of those Make My Mondays at Hy-Vee. And today only, so even if you're watching this at 7:45 p.m., you still have time to come back to the store and fill up a paper bag like this full of meat, seafood, or deli items, and you'll save 20% off at the register. Today only, Make My Mondays. Tell you what, this is perfect if you're doing any kind of meal prep, trying to stock a freezer. If you're on a diet, like a keto diet or whatever the case may be, we're going to make your Monday, y'all. You can just fill it with steak. Seriously. I mean, whatever you want to put in there that's meat, seafood, or deli. With the crab-ulicious definition, make those crabs go crazy. With that sale going on, you could load it up with crab legs and save 20% off at the register today only. Don't miss it right here at your Muscatine Hy-Vee. Last night, and I'll do this quickly and then we'll get to our first guest. Last night, holiday train rolled into Muscatine. I think it was actually on time by all accounts. Was not down there, but here's a great video courtesy of Kelsey Brackett. Look at that crowd. Wow. Now, 2 years ago, I was down there. It was as cold, and the train was 45 minutes late. But last night, by all accounts, it appeared to be on time. The Canadian Pacific holiday train, happy holidays, rolled in. Couldn't miss it, right? Stands out like a sore thumb. But very cool, like the fact that they brought it through Muscatine, because when I saw the schedule come out this year, I didn't think we were going to be an included stop, and then it seemed like all of a sudden we were, and I know that Santa and Mrs. Claus were hanging out at the Merrill, and there you go. This is fantastic. I love this. Look at that. 'Tis the season, even though most of our snow is melted. Remember a week ago when we were all buried, and now it's like we can see our gross grass again? I'm not here to tell you that I like snow, but if it can cover up my grass and the fact that I didn't cut my grass last time. So this is a great video. Again, thanks to Kelsey Brackett for letting us play that. He doesn't know that we're playing it, but I'm just giving him a proper recognition. Don't sue us, Kelsey. And if you went down to the holiday train last night and you took any pictures, maybe you had a bird's eye view, Skylar Delano. Skylar apparently lives near downtown. Got to see the holiday train roll. Either that or he has a good zoom on his phone or his camera lens. I saw Skylar's post. So check that out. And if you went down, hope you had a good time. All right, we're sitting here on Monday, the 3rd of December. And I didn't even realize the irony of our first guest being here, because today is National Roof Over Your Head Day. And from Affordable Metal Manufacturing, Joel Kraushauer is back in the saddle. He's also guest hosted on this show. And correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the last times that you guest hosted after I had my third child, a giant, and you went big with the pumpkin.
Yeah, I can assure you no produce will be harmed throughout this broadcast. As I'm here.
You were going to juggle squash.
No, there will be no squash juggling.
Squash, as my father-in-law says, please. He has to wash the squash. So what happened? It was a pumpkin. You tried to grab the stem.
Well, what it was we have this amazing table set up here that we are at.
That's right. Thank you.
You can't see because of these beautiful tablecloths.
Right.
But these are extension shelves.
It's a little demo cart.
And the shelf may or may not have been able to support the 6 or 10 pound pumpkin that was there. And
I feel like you're being modest. That was a big pumpkin.
that was a big pumpkin.
We have the clip? Oh, great.
man.
All right.
I'm wearing the same shirt.
Hey, look at this guy. There's the pumpkin. Oh, no. The dramatic effect. And
That's amazing.
I like how you tried to save it. And what they tell me when what they told us, what they told me when all those pumpkins came in, they said don't grab them by the stem as we were loading them off of a truck, and I said okay. And you tried to save it.
Yeah, the stem.
Man.
It
The good news is
the best part was it was fun and people
it was
laughed.
absolutely
It wasn't,
fun. I watched that in the hospital on my phone, and my wife was like, "What are you cry laughing at?" And I was like, "Joel just broke a pumpkin and maybe the table."
That was
it was awesome. All right, so it is National Roof Over Your Head Day. Affordable metal manufacturing, of course, for folks that don't know, providing quality, durable, long-lasting roof for your home or garage. Just the other day, bagging groceries, and a lady said, "I saw you on TV," and I said, "Oh, you watched the show?" Nope, it's that affordable metal commercial. Should have got some kind of back-end deal on that one. This is also kind of like a plug for Warren Schwanke, I guess, with MTW Cable, but I've had quite a few people say that is that your roof? And I'm like, well, it wasn't somebody else's roof. Of course it was mine.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to say most of our all of our garage roof and part of our house has a metal roof from Affordable Metal. And I know, Joel, that it's going to last for a long time. For the folks at home that are thinking metal roof on my house, I don't have like a pole barn.
right.
I have a regular house. It doesn't matter, right?
Right, absolutely. Anything you have a roof over, a metal roof is a great option for you to do that. And one of the things is just durability. The first part of the conversation is just durability.
Sure.
So an average shingle roof, I was actually just on the American Roofing Association website last week.
Yeah.
And a shingle roof is going to last you between 15 to 20 years.
Okay.
I mean, that's just the average. I mean, there are some shingle roofs that have, they say it's a 30-year shingle or a 50-year shingle, but there's just more opportunity for something to go awry when getting up underneath of it and lifting that tab and pulling it off.
Sure.
And eventually you have that opportunity for that to happen. With a metal roof, I can honestly tell you that the paint system alone has a 40-year warranty on it. So that paint's not going to have a big issue with it for 40 years.
Wow.
And then from another durability standpoint, hail can hit those roofs and it's not going to penetrate it, so you're not going to have any issues with water. Now, a tornado going by, like unfortunately we had in Illinois last night and over the last couple of days, a tornado could do some serious damage to a metal roof.
Sure.
But hail, ultimately, you're going to be okay. And you're going to have a roof that's going to last you 50 years. So in all likely scenarios, with a shingle roof, you're going to replace that roof 2 to 3 times in the span that you would need to replace that metal roof. So you're talking maybe 2 roofs every 100 years in metal roof is kind of a good thing to think about.
Yeah.
Versus in that same 100 years, you're looking at 4 to 8, depending on what your weather conditions are like. So from a durability standpoint, it just makes a lot of sense. And that's anywhere from the 29 gauge exposed fastener roofing system like you have on your house, Tony, to the standing seam roof, which if you're looking for a great example of a standing seam roof, just come here to Hy-Vee. That green awning that's out in front of your in front of this building is a standing seam type roof that we manufacture and we make here at Affordable Metal just up the road at 303 Cleveland Street. So it's as you're driving around, just take a look. There's lots of really great opportunities to get a metal roof. And the other thing is it's actually a more energy efficient roof. So not only are you not replacing it as often, but you're actually over time saving yourself money on your energy bill.
It's amazing that the paint can hold up as long when you think about just the sun beaten down. And I'll say this, like, we live in Iowa. We live in a place where we have had giant hail and tornadoes and severe weather is common. So for my money, I should have got the rest of my house. Shame on me for not forcing that issue to get the whole house in metal. But I'm happy that I have that back end of it that it is, because I know how durable, and it looks great. And that's the thing, like, there are a lot of houses. One of the house kind of like kitty corner from my mom's has a huge roof, and they just got it all redone in metal, and it looks great. And a lot of it anymore, you can't really tell, and I mean that with all due respect, because like with my garage roof, you would look at it and think like, oh, okay, that looks cool, and then I would tell you it's a metal roof, and you go, oh, I had no idea. Right. So that's just it. Like, it doesn't stick out, right? Like, it's a very practical system. It's not something that you're going to get on your house and your neighbors are going to go, oh, did you see the metal roof house?
Right.
That's not, I mean, it blends in just fine.
Well, and we have paint finish. It's called a crinkle coat finish, which has some texture to it. So even more, it looks less and less like a metal roof.
Sure.
Is I can't speak too much to the shingle side.
Sure.
Because a lot of the contractors I work with and talk to on a daily basis, they don't even do shingles anymore.
Gotcha.
People are putting metal roofs on in the winter. You can do it in the winter because they are one single sheet that goes. So you have our run. So say you've got a 20-foot run from your gutter to your peak, to your ridge of your roof.
Right.
We can do that. Sheet comes from us in the exact length that you need it.
Fantastic.
So yeah, you can see that they're putting it on there.
Wow.
That's a standing seam roof. And so what you can see, so as that goes, you can do this in the wintertime. Obviously, you don't want to be up there if there's ice and snow on your roof.
Correct.
We had a contractor, he was working on a roof last week, right after the snowstorm. He was up there shoveling, and he had tarped it, and he did slide off the roof. He was okay.
My gosh.
He landed in a big snowbank, and he was all right. And this is not an affordable metal contractor. This was one of our customers who was telling us this story. So
these guys are dedicated.
Yeah. But the thing is you can do it.
Sure.
And I do recommend make sure it's safe and not slick and whatnot. But no, absolutely do it. And one of the benefits of doing this now is in the month of December, we are donating a portion of all of our sales to the local Muscatine Salvation Army.
Awesome.
When our founders, Russ and Jan Miller, and Jan passed away a few years ago, when they started the company 10 years ago in Kelowna, the mission was, we're going to use the profits from this business to fund faith-based organizations across the local community and the global community. And the Salvation Army does a lot in the Christian mission, which is very important to our owner, Russ Miller. And so in December, we're going to contribute a proportion portion of all of our so the speed at which you can get our product, and we're actually saving people money, and we're getting it to you faster, which last time I checked in all of the economic classes that I took in college, that's a win-win.
Way better.
So
we're sitting here on Monday, so if I was like, yeah, I need a metal roof on the whole house, I could have it started probably Thursday.
If you called me with measurements today, and place your order, or your contractor called and placed your order today, I guarantee you we would have it by Thursday.
Wow.
Barring
that's exciting.
any equipment breakdown.
Right, so that's just it. Like, you know, for me, and my money, like, if you can support a locally ran business, how many employees are there down the street?
We have 8 employees.
8 employees doing all the work. So think about that. Locally employed. So someone deciding to chase that American dream of owning a small business, and saving you money and the lead time. So that's where sometimes people assume they have to go else.
Maybe you just have open studs in your garage.
I do have open studs.
So what
in my
you want to do is you can insulate that garage.
Okay.
And you can put our liner steel right there on the inside. So now you have a steel barrier.
Whoa, baby.
Critters, if they got in, they're not going to be able to nibble through it or gnaw through it like they would maybe some drywall or things like that. We know mice get in garages. It's mice season.
I'm pretty sure there was a giant raccoon trying to get into the garbage.
That too. So you see these detached garages like this, or
cool.
attached garages. This liner steel, it is inside. It's the same high quality 29 gauge steel that you put on your roof.
Awesome.
But the paint system is not as robust. The paint system is not designed to go outdoors.
So this would take the place
for several years.
You
know that I don't know anything about power tools until like now, until I took this job.
There you go. I'm also thinking of all the fundamental nibblers, so I'm doing a good job.
But this is what you would use to go around your outlets. All of the people.
Great. I would not be the one putting up the
Yeah, but your father-in-law Craig knows exactly
Yeah,
what
Jerry
it is.
Provine. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah, Jerry
doing
knows what
contractor
this is.
stuff. Like somebody smarter than I would do the work because
Although you and I, we're not
Right,
we're
right.
more Tim the Toolman Taylor.
That's true. That's true.
You and I could easily put up liner steel
Really?
in your house. In fact, we should do it, and we should do a video of it.
Yeah, and I could get it for free as an endorsement.
We'll talk.
Hi, friends. Remember me from the other affordable metal commercial? I'm back.
I don't have
This
the authority
time-
to just give you free stuff.
That's right. Free
Unfortunately.
steel. Okay, so please consider contacting Joel and the crew at Affordable Metal Manufacturing and help out the Salvation Army throughout the month of December, which is super cool. I'm excited about that.
Can I co-author the I woke up hurting book?
Did you really?
Can we co-author that
Yeah.
together?
Did you wake up injured?
Oh yeah, well, I woke up injured.
Jeez, I
Every
don't
day.
understand what's going on.
It's called old.
It's got to be getting
It's
old.
age.
This left ankle, and I'm being very specific about this left ankle. Just I don't know. I need to go to the. Is there a chiropractor just for ankles that could give it a quick? And then
There's a podiatrist.
foot doctor.
Foot and ankle doctor.
One of the other hats that you get to wear is Muscatine Muskie basketball, football basketball.
I did color
Full disclosure, I did reach out to Brian Musell as part of that conversation. He's busy, so basketball started officially.
Yeah.
Girls started.
boys are
a couple
in
of games
action,
that you've
so-
been at. Any thoughts, any takeaways from
I think that if you've followed Muskie basketball, Susan Orvis in the women's
she's
program has
tremendous.
had tremendous talent come through. You've had Annabelle Clemens, who I think ended up one of the all-time leading assistant basketball coaches at Western Illinois. Letty Lerma, who was at Bradley and then had a professional career overseas. And then I know I'm forgetting a few. And then you have some other athletes who, like Rachel Beatty, they've gone on to play softball and do some other sports. So this program has been chock full of skill. Erin Oppel, who missed her whole last year, senior season,
Forgot about Erin,
with some
sure.
knee injuries, but she was
Sure.
a leading scorer coming into that season, and I think she's moved on to the Ivy League now. But Coach Orvis has had some tremendous talent come through, but she is an outstanding coach in her own right.
She's unbelievable.
Former Division I college assistant. Now she's been at Muscatine for many years. And what she has done there, and I said this on the broadcast the other night, is she has built a culture of communication. If you watch those girls play, they are completely locked in from the freshman level all the way to the varsity level. And they've had that consistency, that foundation has been laid so well, and her assistant coaches do such a nice job of everyone having the same consistent message. And what I say to that is because this team is young.
Sure.
You have Macy Rogers, who's a senior, who's a junior, who's the leading scorer returning. And then you have Kayla Schultz, who is a senior, a 6-foot senior. But you have their two leading scorers right now are Zoe Long, who is a sophomore, who played a lot as a freshman last year. And then Alicia Garcia, who is a 6'1" forward who can step out, shoot the three.
She's really good.
She is committed already as a sophomore. She's committed to the University of Northern Iowa.
Unbelievable.
She's a Division I.
Letty Lerma's sister, correct?
Half sister. Yeah.
Half sister.
Yep.
Unbelievable talent, though, in that family, that lineage.
Right. Well, and their mother, Stephanie
Wow.
Bishop, was one of the top players in the Mississippi Athletic Conference back in the 90s. Was an
So
outstanding
good.
player. So they are just that program. They're going to take some lumps. They're going to lose some games.
Sure.
That you're like, how did they lose that game? We've not lost to that team before.
Sure.
And it's really just because this program is kind of growing and it's coming of age.
Well, I think you're right about Coach Orvis. I mean, I've only been in town for 6 years, and I've, realistically been paying attention to Muskie basketball, specifically girls and boys, for probably the last 5.5, right? But you're right. Coach Orvis being there, having that consistent leadership, those expectations, she is wonderful.
Right.
I hope that people understand how great of a talent and Coach Orvis, and I tell her this to her face when I see her in here all the time and dealt with her over the years. She's great. Like, that's who I would want my daughter to play for and I'm not assuming that Coach Orvis is going to still be there in 15 years, but I hope
I think there's a really realistic chance that she will be.
She's great. In this program, you're right. I mean, yes, they may be young, but I'll tell you what, if you fast forward a year from now, the experience that this team will have under their belt this year, and then by the time that they're most of them are juniors and seniors,
Right.
some serious skill for sure.
Well, and I think the thing about Coach Orvis is the last thing she wants is to have two guys on a local talk show talk about how great she is, because it's just not what matters to her. What
That's
matters
true.
to her
You're right. You're
is
right.
how these girls develop as humans and as students and as athletes.
Right.
And you can see that on the court. You're seeing some clips from Saturday's game against Linn-Mar, which Linn-Mar, coached by Nate Sanderson.
How about it?
Former Louisa Muscatine head coach, goes up to Springville, wins multiple state titles. Ben Nitzel, who I know is on the show here, one of Ben's closest friends, and he's got some ties to this community as well. So I'm sure that was fun for him to bring his Linn-Mar team down here to play.
He's had such success.
He's
as
just a tremendous
too,
coach,
right?
and
So with Coach Orvis and this team, fun to watch. So my thing is always go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like basketball is. I'd be hard pressed if someone said, "What's your favorite sport to watch?" I don't know, but I have this affinity for basketball, and I'm inclined to. And nothing against football or baseball, but you watch, a group of people that are having fun, even if they're young, they're well coached. It's always entertaining.
Well, I think when you think about bang for your buck too, from an entertainment dollar, so we are parents of young children.
Correct.
I get to go to these games, sit courtside, call them on the radio,
Right.
but a lot of times my wife and our 3 kids are in the stands.
Sure.
And basketball, it's climate controlled. You're not going to get rained on. You don't have to get all sorts of extra
Right,
rain
layers,
gear,
right.
all this stuff ready for it. And a high school basketball game is an hour and a half, 2 hours.
it's the
At
best.
the most.
Yeah.
And so you can really go and it's loud. There's a real atmosphere, but at the same time, you're not spending the 4 or 5 hours that you sometimes are at a football game if there's
Sure.
a lot of incomplete passes. So it's a really good value for your entertainment dollar here in Muscatine. Go get the season punch pass where you can just go. They'll punch your ticket.
Right.
You get 10 punches or whatever. You can have a whole family go to a couple of games, or you can go and
Worth it.
go to 10 games yourself. So.
Okay, so boys basketball this season, right? So we are a year removed, and I want to come back to Joe Wieskamp, but last season, all eyes were on Muscatine.
Mm-hmm.
It was an experience for this community, for that team that is special, memorable.
Right.
None of us should ever forget that. Hopefully you took the time to go to
Right.
some of those games. Where is the program at? New coach for
New
Muskie
coach.
boys. What does that mean? What do you know about this coach? I don't even know his name.
Yeah, John Wyndham is
Okay.
his name, and he has come into Muscatine. So Gary Belger moved on, over 700 career wins as a head basketball coach. And Gary Belger, he moves on. I think he's actually may have officially retired. I know he went back down to Texas.
Good for
where
him.
his family is. And so Gary has moved on, and basically what they did is they had a coach apply who had almost the same resume as Gary Belger. John Wyndham, over
Wow.
650 career wins as a head coach, if I'm having my memory correct.
Yeah.
Comes from Blue Valley in the Kansas City metro area.
Okay.
Where I think 2 of his players have, in the last 4 years, are at Duke right now.
Holy moly.
Coached some major high Division I athletes. Former college coach, former professional coach overseas,
Wow.
has coached anywhere from freshman basketball all the way up to professional basketball. So he's from
awesome.
Sterling, Illinois originally.
Okay.
So that's how we ended up. We wanted to get back closer to some family, as his has a parent who's still alive in Sterling, Illinois. Wanted to be closer to that family, and so what we have is this new coach, new era, so
Sure.
to speak. We joked a little bit. It's AJ after Joe,
Right.
and so not a lot of points coming back, because as much
Yeah.
focus as was on Joe and his accolades,
Sure.
there were 5 other seniors on that team.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
so there were a lot of experience, a lot of minutes that graduated from that.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Zeck, the leading scorer, coming back, averaging under 1 point per game. So
Wow.
there's a lot of minutes, a lot of points available. And there's some youngsters, Noah Yan, who played a little bit of varsity ball
Mm-hmm.
as a freshman last year. Jake Diekman, a 6'6", forward sophomore.
Jeez.
Noah's a 6'2" guard, left-handed. And then you have guys like Gabe Mulder. And then you have, like I mentioned, Cooper Zeck. Cooper really changed his body, and he was already in really excellent shape, but he became a different football player this fall because of how hard he worked in the offseason in the strength training program.
Fantastic, yeah.
And that is really translating onto the basketball floor. And he's a guy who can get some really good rebounds, be a post scorer. there's going to be some growing pains in this team.
Sure.
And Coach Wyndham has his work cut out for him just because of the inexperience that he's got. But his way, and I'll put my former coach hat on, it's kind of got to be a little bit appealing because there is no one who really knows what it was like.
Correct.
So what they're able to do now is really start fresh together. He can come in, do exactly what he wants to do, implement his system.
Good.
Joel Witchers is still the assistant, and Joel is one of the best coaches you're ever going to come
100%.
across. And so these youngsters are going to have a chance to kind of hit the reset button on the Muscatine basketball program and move forward. Now, will that translate into wins? I think so. But there's going to be some games where you're like, man, how do we lose this game?
Sure.
Tough schedule right out the gate. City High, who they played last Thursday night, may end up being one of the top teams in that Valley Conference. City High isn't in the same city limits as Iowa City West, who's the favorite again to win a state title. That's the team we're probably talking about in this area.
Tough.
But
yeah.
so the schedule doesn't help. Davenport North, I think, is going to be a competitive team this year. Assumption's always going to be good. North Scott's always going to be good. So it's just you have these teams where the record may look like, oh man, but you can already see the foundation that Coach Wyndham is laying with the boys program.
It's exciting, again, to have this ability to come in with a new coach and have that. I mean, what a great track record he comes in with. So he knows what he's doing, certainly. So that's where I would ask for patience with a new coach, new system, new. Think about the student athlete that's new. It's new to them, and right, what an opportunity for him to have his own input and to really make this team, to model this team, and to then be able to stay with him for the next few years.
And I think one of the things that we're seeing in sports across Muscatine is Mike Morgan and previous activities directors have put a premium into hiring not just quality resumes where people have a lot of wins, but quality people who actually put the athlete first and try to grow that athlete. And Coach Wyndham appears to be another one who fits that category. Steve Hopkins, who's the new softball coach at Muscatine, he was announced about a month ago. Steve comes from Durant, where he took that program to brand new heights. Mike Morgan and that committee, I feel like, really hit literal and figurative home run.
How about it?
Bringing him into the Diamond Sports program with the softball program. And as you see on all the community Muscatine School District websites and the Muskie Strength Facebook and Twitter page, they're very close, I think, to opening up this new weight room in the Van Heck Center.
Excellent.
Across the street. And that's more than just for sports.
That
is a huge part of the physical education program. This community is really doing things to not just promote athletics, but promote wellness in the entire student body, and that facility is a huge part of that. So, it's really easy to talk about all the different sports. The swimming team going right now. You also have the wrestling program, which had a good weekend, finished fourth at a very competitive tournament in West Delaware and Manchester over the weekend. And so you see these programs that have taken some time to build. They're starting to gain some momentum. And I think it's really an exciting time to be a citizen of Muscatine. You see that cool picture of the weight room.
Wow, look at that.
And it's really a cool time to be investing in student athletes.
That's great.
And the reason I say student athletes, I also say student activities because, we're in the middle of show choir season, marching band, jazz band. Marching band's over and they're into their jazz band. Symphony just did a big orchestra concert on Saturday
night. Videos from that. It was incredible.
And so right now, this is what I say. Whenever those bond referendums come through and those monies are going to new facilities or new programs, extracurricular programs.
Sure.
I wish people would take the term extracurricular out of their vocabulary and use the term co-curricular. Because football, baseball, basketball, choir, all of these things, they're no longer in addition to schooling. In my opinion, they're actually making your schooling better. They're a part.
Career. Yeah. It's weird that he's in Iowa City and he's playing in Madison Square Garden and he's having success. It's not weird because we know he's talented, but it is just odd to see him go from that musky purple and gold to the black and gold for the Hawkeyes. Certainly set himself up to have this success, but still, I don't know, it's a little surreal. You've known the family for a long time, known Joe for a long time, and here he is on this stage, and I'm thinking this is someone that will continue to get better and then is very much an NBA caliber athlete.
Yeah.
You don't get to say that often.
No.
Right?
And to come from where I came from as a sports writer in this community and broadcaster, to kind of have followed his story since his sophomore year through, it's really easy to say, well, and I saw the narrative, people would say it to me, well, yeah, I mean, he's scoring 54 points against Bettendorf, but, you know, who do they have? Well, they have the top point guard in the Midwest, and DJ Carton, who's going to Ohio State. But with that said, yes, Iowa high school basketball, night in, night out, is not always a good barometer for how well will that person transition into Big Ten basketball. You look at guys like Carlton Reed, who you didn't live in Iowa at this time. Carlton Reed was my age, and he was Mr. Basketball. He was a year older. Went to Iowa and really didn't do much. He's from Waterloo. And you have other people who have similar stories. Well, the thing is that what we saw in high school from Joe is a completely one aspect of his development. People didn't see his AAU team that he was on. He didn't just play on an AAU team in Iowa. The Iowa Barnstormer team that he played on was a top 30 national AAU program. And so they were going, AJ Green was on that team, who's starting at UNI right now. And then you had a couple other guys, Ed Chang, who's playing for the San Diego State University now. So they were a legit team that they would go and they were playing against the top 100 players in the country. And so he knew going in, and he move forward. But the fact that he's got the confidence to be that aggressive,
it's great.
That's something that you don't see a lot in freshmen.
A freshman contributing at that level, Joe Wieskamp. It's going to be...
He's in conversation for Big Ten Freshman of the Year.
Yeah. It's going to be wild to see where Joe is 3 years from now. What type of athlete.
He may honestly be in the NBA 3 years from now.
Well, especially if he keeps up with the ability to rebound. I mean, there's so many of these lost art forms when it comes to looking at people on the NBA level, right? Like you have people, and a common score for an NBA game is 150 to 148 now.
Right.
So certainly people are scoring, but what's indicative of games like that and maybe the modern athlete is perhaps sort of this lack of desire to be a good defender and a quality rebounder. So that's where someone like Joe, who can also score, by the way.
Right. And
But if there's that opportunity for an NBA team to look at him and say, you know what, we need somebody that can just out hustle, that's going to be the first one at the gym and the last one to leave the gym. And that's the kind of person he is. But by the way, he can also score.
Well, yeah.
Multifaceted,
Well,
to
and
say
the
the
thing
least.
is, you talk to his AAU coach, Casey Schmidt, and one of the things I asked him, I said, who does he compare to? Which is probably not even a fair question.
Sure.
But it's a journalist, you got to ask it.
Right.
And Luke Kennard is a name that a lot of people bring up. And Luke Kennard plays in the NBA. He actually was a one-and-done player at Duke.
Okay.
He's a lefty, but similar skill set to Joe. Maybe be just a step quicker than Joe. But when I said that about the NBA 3 years from now, I'm sure there are people who are saying, "Oh, don't put that on him." And I'm not trying to put any pressure on him. I'm not an NBA scout. I'm much more qualified to talk about the NFL draft than the NBA draft.
Right.
But when you have a player like that who is a good citizen, does the right things, and can do all of those things, that increases your draftability.
Absolutely.
That increases your value. So don't be shocked.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I don't remember when the mall was the mall, everybody.
I don't really either.
I keep hearing stories about the mall being the mall, and I'm like, that's cool.
Back when Walmart was there.
Yeah.
Which is
right.
horrible.
I remember when Menards was at the mall because I got in trouble one of my first live broadcasts back in the day. Those boys were having too much fun, they said. That's a true story, by the way.
No one's ever said that about you.
No, never. Thanks for
us.
coming on.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Muskie boys and girls basketball is back this season.
Can I say one last thing?
Yes.
Since I very rarely have a sports microphone, I always have a sports microphone.
Right. Okay.
I just want to say how great it is to have football programs in the state of Iowa being as successful as they are. Wartburg always having good seasons. Luther, Central College, which we have some local flavors on those teams. Iowa State having one of their best seasons ever, which people who know me know that that's hard for me to say. No, but I like Matt Campbell a lot. They're doing great things in Ames. You know, they're going to the Alamo Bowl.
Sure.
They've already sold 5,000 tickets.
Wow.
For Iowa State.
Wow.
And Iowa heading back to the Outback Bowl. But I have to say this. There is a football program in the state of Iowa that has the highest winning percentage over the last 10 years. And it is Morningside College in Sioux City, Iowa, my alma mater. They are undefeated this year, and when they won in overtime on Saturday to go to the national championship game for NAIA. NAIA National Championship in Daytona, Florida.
Have to do it. Coach Ryan, who's an Eldridge Iowa
native. Congratulations.
Wow. Congratulations.
This
is not used to be as an invited
walk-on there. We were the worst program in 2002. And Steve had one losing season.
Never been ranked for
championships. They've never been ranked
10 years. 6.
Wow. They don't have the national championships, though. This will be their first national championship. So I hope so.
Well,
Morningside and both Iowa
going to Florida to potentially.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. See if I can trust aisle cam if we could, and then we're going to take the food section because there's something called the Tom and Jerry mix.
About this, I thought.
And when I Tom and Jerry cartoon, but no. There's a Tom and Jerry, apparently a big to-do bakery department. So Jake Hardman, hardest working person at Hy-Vee. Oh, Delmer's back too. Delmer back and more tan, by the way. So this Tom and Jerry mix is really something special, and we've got it in the frozen food. And I know what you're thinking, like, I'm talking about a holiday cocktail mix, but it's in the frozen department? Well, bear with me. Ryan Broderson going to run the Toyota Muscatine car cam to the frozen food section to show you this. It essentially looks like a container of batter, but apparently what you do is you mix it up with a little hot water and your favorite liqueur, and it turns into a holiday seasonal beverage. A little fresh nutmeg on top of it. I haven't tried it, full disclosure, but it's apparently a big deal, big enough to where Jake and the bakery and the crew whipped this together, and we'll show it to you. Let's see if Ryan... Wow, a lot of traffic on a Monday. Look out, everybody. Pepsi guys cruising through. So Ryan Broderson operating Toyota Muscatine car cam, heading towards... And I think I gave him good directions. It's on one of the end displays, just like a display down from where the ice is. And I know what you're thinking. Do you have to buy ice in the winter? Yeah, I don't know if I would recommend taking an icicle off the... There it is right there. Boom. Straight ahead, Ryan. Straight to your little bit to your left. Let's see if he sees it. Tom and Jerry mix, and he's going in the wrong direction. That's all right. That was close, everybody. So close. See, I thought Ryan would know where the bags of ice are, but that's all right. We got to see it, though. That's rare sometimes. Sometimes we don't get to see the item that I'm talking about. So will Ryan successfully find the Tom and Jerry mix? We'll find out, friend. It just looks like a thing of batter. That was it. It almost looks like a container of like something you would use to make cookies with. But apparently you put a little scoop in some hot water and some rum or some whiskey or brandy, and you're all set. So check that out. That's the Tom and Jerry mix, available right here at your Muscatine Hy-Vee. Okay, here's a couple things I want to mention before we get out of here this morning. On Saturday, we had, and I didn't count, but you can see a picture with the volunteers that came out to unload the truck from Friesen for Food at the Salvation Army here in Muscatine. We probably had about 25 to 28 volunteers in total. So if you came out, thank you. We were able to empty the Tantera Transportation Corporation Hawkeye hauler in less than 35 minutes. And it was a little rainy, it was a little cold, it was a little windy, but we got it done, ladies and gents. And the pictures from inside the gym at the Salvation Army, wow. You start off and there's an empty gym with tables, and then you conclude the day, and I have some on my personal Facebook page, and you see just food all over the place. And here at Hy-Vee with the $5 bags that we had, sold out all of those, so thank you. 100, I'm trying to think how many extra ones we ended up selling, almost $300 worth of extras, but in total, 1,050 of those, and they were packed with food that the Salvation Army requested. 1,050 of those sold, put inside the Hawkeye hauler, and taken down to the Salvation Army this past Saturday. Just like that, it was done. And I'll tell you what, I'm thinking that Ryan Broderson has also maybe found the Tom and Jerry mix. And I think he's got it. He's got it, everybody. I can see him down the aisle from where we're doing the show. Yep, he found it. Good job, Rye Guy. And it looks like he's bringing one back to the set in just a moment. Yeah, that's it right there. There's some of it on the side, and then right around the corner there's a whole bunch of the Tom and Jerry mix. Way to go, Ryan. Well, I never lost faith in you. So do we have some pictures from inside the Salvation Army? If you go to my Facebook, I just want to show people the scope of their generosity. If you dropped off food, it made a difference. And if you look at it this way, the Salvation Army, as of this morning, if there were folks that came down to the food pantry that needed something, they're able to take food home because of what you helped us do last week during Friesen for Food. So check out a couple of these pics. Took a selfie with it, and it's just incredible to watch all of the food come in throughout the course of last week. Again, nothing guaranteed, but look at that. That's the contents from the truck. So again, we started the morning, I went into the gym, nothing in there, right? Nothing. And then after 35 minutes or less, quite frankly, absolutely full of food. There's my youngest, well, my middle son, not youngest anymore. Thank you, sir. Oh, this stuff is so different. Little Teddy Tone helping out, and my mom also lent a hand. I think she was surprised at the amount of work that it took. Zoom in a little bit on that one, Chad. We'll give everybody kind of an idea what's hauling here. So the Hawkeye hauler pulls up into the alley by the Salvation Army, and you can see we sort of had a line of folks that grabbed shopping carts and then got to loading. And that's exactly what happened. There's my mom in the red coat, and what a great day. Something fun to be a part of for sure, and thanks to everybody who helped make a difference. All right, I want to show you. Here's the Tom and Jerry mix. Tom and Jerry batter. That's it. I don't know, man. I mean, I want to try it. I'm brave, but I don't know. It's really something, and it's apparently a very good, popular holiday drink. Tom and Jerry batter, $5.99. I think there's even a fuel saver on it, Ryan. Right? Do you see a fuel saver on that too back there? And this is your Tom and Jerry batter. You put it with some hot water and some rum or brandy. Oh, yeah, well, for the sake of science, maybe I'll take some home and try one. On the after-hours edition of Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone, we call it Hy-Vee Tonight. And we just sample holiday cocktails. That's all we do. A couple things to note, and then we're going to get out of here. We'll also do the team staffing job board. This Saturday, Breakfast with Santa at your Muscatine Hy-Vee Market Grill Express starts at 9 a.m. You can look for this advertised on the back of the Voice of Muscatine newspaper. Breakfast with Santa. Santa and Mrs. Claus in the house. Get your pictures taken. I won't have a photographer, but we've all got smartphones and cameras that we use, so pictures are free, of course. And breakfast for the kids, 10 and under, $5. Everybody else, $7.99. Good to go this Saturday, 9 to 11. That is December the 8th right here. Breakfast with Santa and Mrs. Claus at your Muscatine Hy-Vee. Check it out. I want to mention, speaking of 2 weeks of love, this week the Hawkeye hauler truck, that big old truck, is parked down the street at Krieger's. It's toy time. New unwrapped toy donations. Fill the truck. It shows up. It actually showed up on Saturday. It's empty. And we're looking for toys for the Salvation Army. And this Saturday at 11, you can help that truck when it goes from Krieger's to Calvary, and all of the contents, the toys, the bicycles that are inside the truck, we'll need some help getting inside Calvary this Saturday, 11 a.m. for that. All right, bingo coming back on next Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. I should know since I'm hosting. There it is, bingo night, Tuesday, December 11th. I shortened the time by 15 minutes because, well, it's the holidays. And we play a lot of bingo in an hour and 15 minutes, probably almost 20 games of bingo. Each bingo you get $5 Hy-Vee gift card. So do the math on that. Giving out a lot of Hy-Vee gift cards. Half price appetizers and half price tap beer. It's a good time. Free to play. I have the bingo cards. Bring your own dabber or dauber or marker or whatever you want to use, and we'll take care of you with BINGO. I'm going to mention the holiday stroll is this Friday. Check it out, downtown Muscatine. We'll talk more about it in length later this week. I want to get to the Battle of the Bells because this is coming up on Wednesday. So this Wednesday, December the 5th, from 5 a.m., Delmer, check this out, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Ringing the bell for 12 hours, Delmer. 12 hours. Battle of the Bells with yours truly taking on in a friendly competition Lieutenant Christian Lopez with the Salvation Army of Muscatine. He'll be set up near the CBI Superbank location. I'll be across from the floral shop. We'll be ringing the bells for 12 straight hours, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thank you to Bob Howard and the crew at CBI Bank and Trust who have committed to match up to the first $500. Thank you to Krieger's who has also committed to match up to the first $500. And check this out. The Mississippi Brew, the Armstrong crew, and the Brew crew, $1,000. So long as Lieutenant and I can at least each, here's the thing, the donations are going to happen either way, but I'm putting it on myself. I want my kettle to have at least $250 and the lieutenant, so that together that would be $500, so that we could trigger those donations. But right now, if you look at it this way, we're sitting at $2,000 already. So I'm hoping that this Wednesday you'll stop out and throw some spare change, throw a buck in the kettle. If the lieutenant ends up with 10 times more donations than I do, that's fine. I'm happy to buy him Starbucks or breakfast, whatever. It's all about helping out the Salvation Army. They need bell ringers. As Joel mentioned with Affordable Metal, the Red Cattle campaign this year is $180,000. And happy to do something as small as ringing a bell for 12 hours. I just need to ask my boss, Jim Simmons, if I can dress festively. Because if that's the case, then I need to go to the Salvation Army store on Park Avenue and get a 2XL Christmas sweater. wouldn't it be better to dress in, you know what I mean? Like, I could put the Salvation Army thing on, the whatever, what's it called? The apron? I don't know what it's called. The vest. It's a vest, Brian. I can't think of the word. It's Monday. So that's this Wednesday, Battle of the Bells, 12 hours, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Somebody said, why are you starting at 5 a.m.? Well, listen, I could have started at 8 a.m. and gone to 8 p.m., but I'm trying to also be considerate of people like my wife and my family with a newborn and 2 kids at home. So we're going to start early. I don't know what the store is going to look like at 5 a.m., but here's what I know. It's all for the Salvation Army and creating awareness. It's not about me or Hy-Vee, or it's just about the fact that the Salvation Army helps people every day, and they need bell ringers. 563-263-8272. 2 things to note on the way out before the team staffing job board. The shingle shot here at Hy-Vee. This past Friday, I was leaving work. I walked downstairs, went to the pharmacy, had to pick up a prescription, and I looked. And do you ever have that moment where you see someone that you know, but your brain almost goes, no, because it's out of context or they're out of place? For me, that was this past Friday when I saw my old friend Brad Ruggles and his wife, and that means nothing to y'all, but Brad, for a long time, worked at Fox 18 in the Quad Cities, and when I was on the radio in the Quad Cities, we did a lot of things with Fox 18, and I've known Brad for a long time. I probably haven't seen Brad in 6 or 7 years. So there's Brad and his wife at the pharmacy in Muscatine, Iowa at Hy-Vee, and you know what they were doing last Friday night on date night, Ryan Broderson and Chad? They were getting their shingle shot, because as they told me, there is no place that has the shingle shot in the Quad Cities, so they drove from Rock Island to Muscatine to come to this Hy-Vee to get their shingle shot, and that is no joke. So if you're 50 years or older, get your shingle shot. It's a series of 2. Get one now, come back in a couple months, get the second one. Or if you're like my mom, I don't want to say that my mom is over 50 because it's rude, but my mom got her second shingles. Let me say that again. My mom got her second shingles shot on Saturday night. Whew, say that 3 times fast. Shingrix, 90% effective, and the only place you can get it right here at your Muscatine Hy-Vee. Check that out. So that's my pal Brad and his wife driving from Rock Island. And it was also fun, Ryan Broderson, putting you on the spot real quick, Hy-Vee Facebook page. It was also exciting for me. We had the Crown Royal embroidery event on Friday. There were a line of people, and we actually started the embroidery process about 15 or 10 minutes earlier. So if you came out and got a bag of Crown Royal embroidered, a lot of tongue twisters. Like, boy, I'm just falling all over myself. Good for you. There was a line. Can you zoom out? Did I get some of the line in that one or no? I thought I did. Maybe not. Go left a little if you could. A little bit more to the left, yeah, okay, you can kind of see. There were like 6 people in line. I was really happy about that. So thank you. And I'll tell you this, on Friday, December the 21st, we're going to be doing not embroidery, but like they can carve things into the bottle. Engraving, that's what that's called, Tony. It's called engraving. Engraving event. I don't know if they're just gonna have a chisel, but it's pretty cool. And we're gonna talk to Brad, our buddy with Southern Glazers Wine and Spirits. Brad Clendenin will be back on the show to talk about that coming up. All right, team staffing job board, and let's get out of here. I feel so lost. I have no concept of what time it is. My watch is on the charger at my desk, which is the most obnoxious thing I've ever said. I have a couple watches at home that don't require being plugged in, but I like the Fitbit because it keeps track of my steps, and the 4 shots of espresso in my coffee are also starting to kick in. I got a little bit of the wiggle leg going on. Mary on the team staffing job board is hiring an electromechanic. Not sure what that does, but it'll pay you $16 an hour. It's a swing shift, and it's in beautiful Wilton, Iowa, where you could say hi to Ted Maroff. Correction, Jeff Spicoli. Jeff Spicoli, 563-316-7634 if you or someone you know needs a J-O-B. Up next on the job board, Jenny. I saw Jenny. She was here at Hy-Vee helping out Salvation Army the other day. Jenny McWade in the house. First shift welders. That's a good gig. You get the cool welding helmet, put some stickers on there. We need to get Hy-Vee Today stickers still, Ryan Broderson. I got to get that done. I've never had a caricature done of myself, and now I feel like that I'm a little less chunky. Maybe it would be cheaper to not have such a big face for the caricature. Also can fit into a 2XL shirt. I know I've said that, but pretty excited about it. Jenny, 563-316-7635. And up next on the team staffing jab board is Katie, TSI. This is those gigs that pay $18.55 an hour, TSI. Hooking you up. Call Katie 563-316-7639. $18.55 an hour. Change your life. Careers at teamssi.com. Team Staffing Solutions Muscatine on Facebook. That's 4 shots of espresso kicking in right there. Thank you for watching Hy-Vee today. Thanks to Joel Krausauer with Affordable Metal Manufacturing. Don't forget, metal roofs are a great option. And throughout the month of December, they will make a contribution of all sales to the Salvation Army and the Red Kettle campaign. And Joel mentioned that his son, Drew, is a frequent viewer. I think Drew is like 2 or 3. Drew can't get enough of this show. Drew Krausauer, I don't know if you're watching, but hey, buddy, 2 or 3 years old, watches almost every morning. Check it out. That is cool. I mean, he's got so many options as a kid, right? There's all the Paw Patrol and the PJ Masks, but Drew says he needs his Hy-Vee today with Tony Tone fix. Appreciate it. All right, we'll do a regular show tomorrow. Wednesday, Battle of the Bells. This show will happen near the front entrance of the store with some guests and some fun. And I believe tomorrow we'll talk to a very popular guest making another appearance on the show, Tom Wilson, Athletic Activities Director with Louisa Muscatine High School. Tom Wilson back in the saddle. L&M Cake Auction coming up soon. Saw Tom the other day, and he goes, how long do I have to be on? And I said, well, 15 or 20 minutes. And he says, how about 10? And I said, how about I set the time because it's my show? And he said, all right, let me know when you want me to come on. That's a true exchange that we had. So we'll see how long we get Tom Wilson for tomorrow, but he will be here talking L&M Cake Auction. Thanks to CBI Bank and Trust. Thanks to Toyota Muscatine and Team Staffing. Catch this show weeknights on Muscatine Power and Water, Channel 5 at 7:30 and 10:30 p.m. Don't forget about the holiday stroll this Friday night in downtown Muscatine. And listen, 'tis the season, right? We are 22 days away from Santa Claus cruising to your house. Are you on the good list, or has it been a naughty year, Ryan Broderson? We'll find out 22 days from now. And if I'm not, I don't want to forget also still going on today, 20% off Meat Seafood Deli. Make my Mondays at your Muscatine Hy-Vee. Thanks for watching, y'all. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community. Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.